Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I am Zhong. Right next to me, I have Anthony Montez. Correct? Today, he's driving all the way up here from Manteca, which means 3.5-hour drive. Madeira. 3-hour drive from Madeira. Where exactly Madeira at?
Madeira is right smack in the middle of California, central part of California, the exact center point.
Exact center point.
Exact center point of California.
Now let's introduce you to all the Bay Area MMA fight fans. Who Anthony Montez, and where are you coming from, and what got you into fighting in MMA?
Well, I'm coming from Madeira, California, and I got to fighting in MMA. I was going through a lot of stuff as a younger guy. I had a lot of anger issues. I really liked boxing when I was a kid, but my family really couldn't afford to take me to the boxing gym and stuff like that. And I kind of realized it was kind of too late to be a boxer. So I started to look at MMA during the time that like Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz and all those guys were on top.
Yes.
And I really looked up to them a lot and stuff. And I started training. I started training actually at Pacific Martial Arts out of Fresno, California, with Matt Smith and all those guys over there at Pacific Martial Arts, doing jiu-jitsu, boxing with Southeast Fresno Boxing Club, with Mike Hodges and Tony Valencia, rest in peace. Make him proud on August 28th.
How long ago was that?
That was when I first started looking at it was about 2004, 2005. I started training about 2007 with at Pacific Martial Arts.
So you truly are one of the OGs in this sport.
I guess you could say I'm a veteran, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
and then you start fighting was like 2009? 2011. That's
yeah,
like
I started
ago.
fighting about 2011 and stuff, and competing in jiu-jitsu competitions. I competed in everything I could: boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu competitions. So I was pretty active.
What kind of impact do you feel you gotten from this whole pandemic?
You know what? The pandemic really has not really affected me too much, to be honest with you. I've been healthy, thank God. I've been healthy. My family members have been healthy, all been safe. I have a big faith in God and Jesus Christ. So, He's protected my family and my closest people to me, and also me and the people that I know. So, the pandemic really has not affected me too much in a negative way. In fact, it affected me more in a positive way, because when the pandemic hit, I was in prison. I was in fire camp. I was a firefighter in prison, and I got an early release because of it. And so it actually impacted my way in a positive way.
Let me ask you something, like a little personal. How you got into that prison?
Well, like I said, I had some anger issues as a younger man, and I ended up in a situation where I had to make a choice, where I either had to go to jail or I had to go home, and I chose to go home that day, but I ended up going to jail in the long run.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Well, leave it like that. I mean, it's kind of good.
Yeah.
A little bit of personal story to share with you.
But actually, it was a very positive thing. Probably one of the best things that could have happened to me, because I had time to focus on myself and just kind of evaluate who I was and who I wanted to be, and I came out a stronger, more intelligent person.
Now,
so I'm really grateful.
All these years that you've been fighting and training, like 10 plus years, now you're making your professional debut. What made you want to push that button and make that trigger and let's make a pro fight?
The fire inside, it's just still in there. Once you're a fighter, you know what I mean. It's hard to let it go, and it's been a tough road getting ready for this fight, but I'm 100% ready, and we're gonna put on a good show for you.
Now, this whole pandemic, from my experience, I talked to a lot of fighters trying to put on this upcoming fight card. It's crazy, like a lot of pro debut, amateur, pro debut, pro. they're making a pro debut on this upcoming card. A lot of veterans that I talk to, seems like they're all kind of evaporate and disappear. You know, they don't want to fight, or either they stuck with certain financial problems and jobs and all that. So I'm, you know, you're against another guys also making a debut. Only have 2 amateur fight, in my opinion, very green. You know, but some people like they want to turn pro, they don't want to put in more time. Like in the older days, when your guys growing up and fighting back in 10 plus years ago, a lot of amateur guys, they would do 5, 6, 7, 8 amateur fight before they even think about turning pro. So you're fighting Jarrell Hayes. It's you know, basically he's a young kid, 25 years old. What's your thought on fighting a guy like him?
Well, I thought that I'm gonna have to be in really good shape, is what I thought. So, younger guy, I've seen his pictures, I've seen some highlights of his fights, and he looks really strong, and he looks to be in really good shape. And so I'm just working really hard to match that, is what I thought. Is I figured, you know, I've got to make sure that I get in shape, really good shape for this guy. And I'm gonna use my experience also, and we're gonna do what we can to make it come out for the best for me.
That's one thing looking at this fight, you know, as a matchmaker for the event, you know, veteran, got a lot of experience, been around the game for a long time, versus this young up and comer that's only been in the game less than 12 months. It's crazy. Now he's making his pro debut. I think it's a little bit too soon, but hey, you know, some people are like, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do it all. Let's make something happen, or now or never. So interesting for me to watching this fight, how it's going to come out. I don't know what things you guys planning on to do. Like in the perfect ideal world for you, what would you like to see the fight take places? Striking, wrestle, jiu-jitsu, what do you feel like?
Yeah, honestly, to me, I've been on all sides of it, so it really doesn't matter to me. I'm good to go anywhere. I feel.
Awesome. Now you're fighting this upcoming fight at 205 pounds. Jarrell have 2 amateur fights, both fights at the 180. So he's actually coming up weight. Don't want to cut much weight, coming up to the fight this fight. Slightly a little smaller opponent against you. Do you ever think about yourself moving down to 185 or keep it 205? I
actually do think about coming down to 85 because, you know, in my amateur career, I fought some pretty big dudes. And I did have a bit of a hard time, you know what I mean? So
big strong guys.
Big strong guys.
That size advantage.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I wouldn't mind cutting down to 185. It could be something that I could possibly look into the future.
What do you walk around weight?
I usually walk around weight around 240, 250.
Holy shit. Yeah. How much you walk around right now?
Right now we're about 210, 214.
Okay, so you're pretty much around that ballpark.
We're ready to go.
We're 3 weeks out exactly as today. So I'm very looking forward to have Anthony making his professional debut. Now, if all your friends and family want to reach out to you to get ticket to watching you fight, how can people reach out to you?
You could reach out to me on Facebook, Anthony Montez, just very simple. My name is there. Also, I have A Montez for Instagram.
A Montez, how do you spell that?
AMONTES. Also, the same one is my Snapchat, A Montez Snapchat.
That's pretty awesome. Now, do you have any sponsors, training partners, coaches do you want to shout out to for this upcoming fight?
I do. I have a longtime sponsor of, his name is George Buenrostro, Tijuana's Bar and Grill. Also, I want to give a shout out to Phil Flathers over there, who brought me all the way over here and has always been looking out for me, getting me good fights and stuff like that. I want to shout out to Luis Jauregui, who's been helping me, training with my wrestling, also a pro fighter. You guys got to check him out also. I also want to thank Madera Martial Arts and Chris down at Madera Martial Arts, who's been helping me train and helping me cut calories and keeping me motivated. Him and all the training partners over there at the Madera Heart. Thank you guys.
That's pretty awesome. Now, if your opponent, Jarrell Hayes, watching this interview, what do you have to say to him?
Well, I'm just going to say, let's put on a good show. Let's fight, man, and have a good time. Have some fun.
Any little prediction for the fight fans?
Oh, I'm not going to commentate too much on that.
It's awesome. we'll leave it as unknown. And first time for me to meet Anthony Montez, the coolest dude on the earth, and can't wait to watching OG throwing down. And I know you haven't been in the cage for a few years, so do a lot of people actually during this whole pandemic. So very curious about what you look like in the pro at the 3 5-minute round versus when you do amateur 3 3-minute round. So it will be interesting. So make sure all your fight fans out there, your family, friends, from Anthony Montez, make sure you guys show him some love and support. Get a ticket, hit on him, get a ticket from him directly. Come down to San Francisco, watching a good night of a good pro fights and amateur. After that, party in San Francisco, have a good time. There's a good food around, Keys Art Pavilion, good restaurant as well, and you guys will enjoy the San Francisco nightlife. And check out this upcoming fight card layout, August 28th. Don't miss it. Check out DragonHouseMMA.com. This event's a live stream pay-per-view, so anyone can make it to the event. Making sure you guys order your live stream pay-per-view voucher from DragonHouseMMA.com. Subscribe on my YouTube channel. Give me a little bit of love and support, and follow me on Instagram, Dragon_House_MMA. And I'm Zhong Lo. Any last word you want to shout out, saying to anyone else?
Shout out to all friends and family out there. Come watch this fight.
Make sure you guys come support regional show, the biggest regional MMA show in Northern California, MMA pro and amateur. And here we go. We have Anthony Montez. Good to have you on board, brother. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Signing out.